And I have no idea.
The comments were getting restless, so I said I better do something.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
They're like, where are you? I'm like, okay, 1 minute late.
You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.
It's nice of y'all folks to join us. Got a Friday night special tonight. I don't know what's going to happen.
Me neither.
She's on her porch. I'm back here bundled up because I haven't been out of the house in 7 days. But this is Natasha Carlson, and she is a podcast host, Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. I know for a fact that Mr. Duffy's excited because he wanted to talk conspiracies.
Oh, that's like my weakest. That's my weakest link.
Yeah, he did. He goes, "Where's the conspiracy chick at?" I'm like, "It's tomorrow night, Duffy."
Yeah, I'm gonna be the first to admit I am very green in the conspiracy. I do have lots of opinions if people bring them up, but as far as knowing what's what and where, that is my weakest point.
What's the one that got you in to put it on your name?
So I struggle because there's some where people still call them conspiracies, but they've been proven true. And I struggle because if they're proven true, I'm not sure if it's technically still an active conspiracy.
Yeah.
So that alone,
win at that point.
It's the controversy, right? It's the what if, the what's out there. And actually, next Wednesday, I believe it's next Wednesday, I am releasing my first conspiracy episode where I talk with Perplexity podcast, and we talked about strictly, I just picked some random ones where we did the background information, we did the conspiracy theory that the theorists had, and then we also hit what was proven to be true once it was uncovered. And some of them, the truth was bonkers compared to the actual conspiracy. It was fucking nuts, like total crazy.
I always start out with JFK. That's where I go to get my whistle. Then I go the other directions.
See, I don't know. So there's one Project Sunshine. It is. I've never heard of it until I did my research. It is insane. I mean, I could not believe what I was reading. It made me just like, I was screaming at my computer, to be honest. So,
yeah, that's I'm looking that up. I've heard of that one. There's Blue Beam and the Gulf of Tonkin in the Northwoods.
Like I just
like that.
Like I knew of, JFK and the syphilis project that they did. Like some of the basic ones. Kind of one of my things is I'm not sure if I guess it's considered a conspiracy. Like whether or not, I don't know if it's conspiracy or it'd be like more of the alien UFO thing, but the correlation between whether or not aliens either assisted or made the pyramids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, ancient astronauts. Yeah, that's
yeah. I like the thought of that one. I do find that one very interesting. So, whew.
That's less of a conspiracy and just a fun thought.
Yeah,
because it really doesn't change anything if they did.
Exactly, but it would be cool to know, because maybe that's why we don't have. Maybe that's why we don't have pyramids built the same way nowadays. But if everybody's seeing these aliens, then if they contributed to it, why are they not still doing that? I guess.
Yeah, maybe
I
that
struggle with
particular.
Stargate. I don't know how I feel
Stargate
about that
was
one.
amazing.
I just don't know how I feel about it. It's just kind of.
Mm-hmm. You talking about like the remote viewers?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They're real.
Although, I think if I'm trying to remember exactly, when I looked into it last, I was just kind of grazing. It was exactly, Kevin, is what I was talking about. Why are there so many similarities? Yeah, that's my argument with the thing.
They don't do it
But
anymore though. They stopped.
with Stargate before, like when they did the screening for the accuracy prior to the actual project, I guess it was only like between 10 and 25% accuracy rate, which in my opinion is not very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had one of those guys on here.
Oh, I didn't realize all that was on there.
Yeah, Paul Smith. You can see the comments. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's I had one of the Stargate guys on here before. His name's Paul Smith. He was telling me about the star remote viewer, about what he described, and I was like, I couldn't go to bed at night if I knew.
The one for the Dark Side of the Moon guy.
No, he was the Russian submarine. He described a submarine that didn't have the concept for it hadn't been invented yet in America. He came up, he saw it in Russia. Turned out it was true, and I'm like, man, how do you even like rest when you saw that? That kind of a superpower.
I don't know. I have so much weird stuff that happens that I probably would not be surprised if I wouldn't even faze me. I just be like, oh, that's cool.
Now the law of attraction stuff I've been doing lately make me feel kind of like that too. I'm just kind of like, okay, move on. It's actual stuff that's supposed to happen. Otherwise, you're actually kind of haunted, but not.
What do you mean? Explain that to me, because I don't think I've heard that.
Like angel numbers and signs and synchronicities. Like, it's happened to me a lot lately.
Oh, like the fact that I wake up at 3:00 in the morning all the time?
Yeah, that's one of them. Okay. I did that this morning. I woke up at 2:30 and couldn't go back to sleep.
Oh, you know what's real good is when you're sleeping on the couch and what sounds like it's right next to your feet, you hear, "Mommy," and you open your eyes and there's no kid.
Yeah.
He's a little shit, whichever one that is. He's a punk.
Yeah, nothing's more sweeter than a baby's laughter unless it's 3 a.m. You don't have a baby.
Yeah. Well, mine is. I'm haunted by children, so they pull pranks on me. They think it's cute. I have to keep reminding them that it's not cute. Yeah, ghost kids for sure. They're actually my kids, so I know who they are. And what's crazy is okay. So real creepy is. I was recording with somebody who was sitting across from me at the table, and we were facing each other. Mm-hmm. And the first, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. I might have to go into more detail afterwards, but it'll make sense later. Anyway, so she's doing her thing. She's looking at the computer, and she looked up, and like she was in mid. Yeah, right. She was in mid-sentence and just stopped and just was like giving me this like mortified look. And she's looking behind me. So of course I'm like, oh shit, what's behind me? And I'm like, what is it? She kind of, put her head down for a second, looked up, and she was like, I know this sounds really weird. She's like, but I just looked away, and she goes, I just looked over your shoulder, and I swear, your kid was standing behind you, just looking over your shoulder, just watching you. And I'm like, okay, starters, my kid wasn't even in the same county. He was at Mama's house like an hour away. Mm. And fun story. We'll try to sum it up and make it fast so it doesn't like go super long. Check out my episodes because it's in there and it'll explain in more detail. Long story short, I have lost 5 kids and I have 1 breathing one. And it was very traumatic and it was very bad. And then I had a like near-death experience around the same time as I had lost 3 of them. The other 2 hadn't happened yet. And when I had my near-death experience, I thought I went to sleep, quote unquote. When I woke up, I was in like this field that was very green. The sky was very blue. I get more detail in the episode. But anyway, so these 3 kids were there, and there was an older boy, and then there was a boy and a girl next to him. And the first 3 I lost was my first one, and then a set of twins. So they were there, and I talked to them, and they looked. I mean, the first one looked just like, the dad, and the other boy looked just like his dad, and the girl looked kind of like me, but a lot like the dad too. It was like a mixture, Apparently, I don't have strong genes, and and
all my kids look like me too.
He doesn't look anything like me. And this other one, it was almost like the older boy was probably 12 years old or so, and my son now is 12, and when I had my ultrasounds when I was pregnant with him, when that 3D picture came on the screen, I just looked, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I know him. Like, I know his face. When I gave birth to him, I was like, oh my gosh. And like, as he grows, he just more and more and more, I'm like, he looks just like this boy. I mean, almost identical to this boy. And so when she said she saw my son behind me, he looks just like my kid almost. I mean,
I see what you mean now. I was like, wait a minute.
They're very, very similar. So I was like, that's probably who you saw behind me. And it just really creeped her out. But yeah, they like to, and I always know the difference because, of course, my breathing child is, calls me mom because he's too cool. But
now, was
the
this like
ones call me mommy.
It's like an infanthood kind of thing?
I had 4 ectopic pregnancies.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay. I just wanted to make sure where.
Yep.
I was like, oh wow.
No, they tried to kill me before they even came out. So
okay.
Not a good time.
It's not. Yeah, we had something similar to that happen too, and I think that my 3rd child is that first child.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, I look at him and I'm still just like, holy crap. It's the weirdest feeling. It's and it's different. I mean, I know your kid, but it's something about looking at him and he is so familiar. Like you've known him before, even though he's not been there yet.
Yeah, I know exactly that feeling. Like you're like, that's the same person.
It really is. It's really like cool. And they show up they've shown up ever since I lost them. They used to like run down the hallway in my trailer. You could like hear little footsteps running up and down the hallway. You hear giggling. It's kind of creepy.
Now are they progressing? This is kind of okay.
So
this is my podcast. Are they growing in there?
Okay, I know what you're saying. I'm really good at. It's okay. I'm really good at knowing what people are asking. It's okay. It's a gift. I've only seen those ones in person that one time. Every other time it's been auditory or something moving or something, but it's not been a full-on, apparition. But when she said she saw the one behind me and she thought it was my kid, that makes me think he is the same because he was about that age when I remember seeing him.
So they're progressing about the same then. I know in all those stories about 90 minutes in heaven and seeing things similar to that, they're growing at the same rate and they stop there like 32 years old.
Yeah. Well,
which
like
is
these
an odd
ones
place to stop. I don't want to stop when I'm 32. I was fat as hell.
He's been 12 for 14 years. Technically. Because when I saw him, he looked about 11 or 12, I'd say. And that was in 2008. 2008. So I guess it's 20 years.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's like a weird sample that you have, almost like a scientific measurement.
Yeah, and that's what's so weird to me because, like I said, he could have been different. I didn't see him because he was standing behind me. And most of the time I just hear him, so it doesn't really.
Did the deciding start happening before or after the NDE?
Actually, so I saw stuff, a few things. Shout out to my episode. Go to First Hauntings with Travis from the Bar Banter podcast.
Yeah, all her links are in the description of this video, by the way. So if you want to check it out.
Yeah, the one that says like First Hauntings or something like that. That all of those encounters that I had were prior to the near-death experience.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe that opened up the door or something. Sometimes
and it was really weird. It was almost like different. So whenever I've had 2 near-death experiences. The first one was not fun. It was not, butterflies and rainbows and happy my kids are there. It was very scary, and it was creepy. So the first one, whenever I found out about the ectopic pregnancy, I found out about it almost 4 days after it happened. Like my tube ruptured and I was hemorrhaging for like 4 days. By the time the doctor saw it, he was like, well, you should only live for 72 hours. So I don't even know how you're still breathing.
I think, Doc.
Yeah. And so they had to like rush me to the hospital. They wouldn't even send me in an ambulance because they were like, you hit one pothole and she can bleed out before she gets to the hospital. And we were only like 5 minutes from the hospital. So like everything inside was just full of blood and stuff. And
nitroglycerin.
Yeah, so they went in and they removed everything, and they were saying, I guess the perspective is, so a medium McDonald's cup, right? If you fill it to the brim, like all the way to the tippy top, that's what they took out of me just so that they could get a picture to figure out where to cut. I mean, it was just everything in there was full.
Good Lord.
And apparently I flatlined on the operating table. And then whenever I got to recovery, I thought I was, quote unquote, taking a nap, to which I was woken up by the machines going off and people shaking me and screaming at me. And then after about 4 or 5 times, they said, make sure she doesn't go back to sleep because she might not wake up. Because I just stopped breathing, and it was bad. But when that happened, when I woke up, like in my middle space or whatever, the best way I could explain it is, all right, so have you seen Stranger Things?
Okay. Upside down?
No, not the upside down.
Oh, damn.
I know, you're close. So there's a spot where 11 is doing her mental thing, and she's trying to picture this. She sees the monster. The room's all black. It's like she's walking on water.
It's where it's black and like the floor is water. Yeah.
Yes, that is where I woke up. Keep in mind, this was also in 2008. Stranger Things was not a thing.
Yeah, not for 5 more years.
Talk about getting freaked out when I watched the show. And I was like, oh my God, I've been there. I've been there. And I said, there's no monster though. But it wasn't. I just remember walking, and it was very cold and just empty and like sad. Like nothing. It was just nothing. It was just nothingness. As far as I could see, it was all black. And then there was this, almost like someone was telling me, like, you don't belong here. We don't know how you got here. You need to leave. Like now. Almost. You're muted.
I am muted. I was pouring coffee. I didn't want you to think I was taking a leak.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like it didn't, like you got there and it wasn't rendered yet for you because you weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, and it was like, it's like, no, you can't be. And the whatever, I wouldn't really say it was a voice that I physically heard. It was almost just like it was almost like a telepathy type talking. And it was just, like I said, it was like rushing me. Like, you can't, like, if I was going to be there too long, I can't get out. Like, you need to leave now. Go, go, go. You don't belong here. Go. Like, before it's too late. And then I just woke up, but it was not a very fun experience. But
that's
yeah,
true, like an indication that you weren't supposed to be there. Like,
yeah. And I don't know set for you. Yeah, and my big thing is like the rush to get me out, almost as if it was like I felt like if I didn't, like, because everything was so dark and black and all of that, maybe if I was there for so long, I couldn't find my way out. So yeah, excuse me, sorry.
Or whatever makes the space would start making it for you, and you couldn't go back.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell are you doing here? checking its watch. Shit.
Like, God Almighty. And have you ever seen the Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode about the Brood Witch, where every time he takes a bite of the haunted sandwich, he goes to another dimension and something tries to kill him?
Okay,
that's kind of what it sounds like.
That sounds really familiar. Is that what are the characters on that show?
It's a cup and a fry box.
Yes, and a hamburger. Okay, well, there was another show, like a late night cartoon from God, whenever I was a kid, and um, there was it was almost like a lion. It looked like it was like a lion mask or something, and then there was like the mantis guy with like he always looked like I always thought he had like either a space suit or like a karate outfit or something on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's like Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
I think so. Yes. Yeah, with the guy in the white and black suit with the cape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like
okay. Anytime anybody talks about mantis aliens, that little mantis guy is what I picture.
yeah, he plays like the guy because it was a knockoff of the late night TV shows like Tonight Show and the David Letterman show, and he was supposed to be. I can't think of the guy on David Letterman with the bald head that always played the saxophone, like his main.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's who that Manus is supposed to be, like the color commentator off to the side.
I just know that he cracked me up.
Yeah, Space Ghost. I think that may have been
You're
where
talking
Aqua Teen
about
Hunger
a
Force.
deprivation tank. Oh
Yeah.
no, I was talking about my brain.
Yeah, she didn't.
I guess
she
my
died
brain
for a
is a
second.
deprivation tank. The dead rushing you out. Yeah. Well, now they're everywhere.
Everybody's
So-
saying Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Thank you. I have been trying to figure that out for like 6 months, and I could not remember what it was called, but I keep referencing it.
I think that's where Aqua Teen Hunger Force came from.
Yeah.
I think they were. You know how the Simpsons were on Ed Sullivan or Johnny
They're-
Carson.
Yeah, they're very similar as
Yeah, I
far
think-
as drawing and all of that.
Yeah, I think it's like the same people. I
Yeah.
think Aqua Teen
Oh,
Hunger
yeah,
Force debuted
no.
it on Space Ghost.
That's what they put 11 in. Yeah. So I wasn't talking about the tank. That's just where I was at.
Yeah, she didn't go there from a tank. She died.
No,
and
I
ended up there.
died. I flatlined.
Tracy Ullman. I said Ed Sullivan. The Simpsons
It's
are from the
okay.
70s.
I'm horrible. I remember Angry Beavers, Cow and Chicken, Celebrity
Paul Schaefer.
Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Celebrity Deathmatch was awesome. I used to stay up late, turn the TV on. My mom was asleep so I could watch it.
That was like the pinnacle of modern society was Celebrity Deathmatch.
I remember the Christina Aguilera versus Britney Spears. And then they had like Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. Oh my gosh.
Hmm. And they would have like chainsaws and stuff.
Yeah. I saw some that were on not that long ago and I watched them. They were great.
I gotta see, where did Aqua Teen Hunger Force come from? 'Cause I think it was Space Ghost, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm like a producer.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. The characters of Aqua Teen Hunger Force originated from the Bafer meal in an episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Hot damn, I knew it.
Look at you.
Still got it, people.
So yeah, I just remember like Ren and Stimpy and
Space Ghost was funny because he would sit there and he'd have those little cards like a Hawk Show
yeah,
host
like
would have. And he would tap it when something was awkward and he'd look around.
he was so relatable.
Kevin said, "This is what it's like at work." I said, "You're damn right. That's why I wanted the podcast because this is me. This is how I just talk all the time in movie clips.
Yes.
Shake Sula, the mic, Rula, old schooler. You want a trip? Bring it to you. Meet
We always
Wad,
laugh.
making money. See,
Because I tell people that I'm like, if you want to know the real me, listen to my podcast.
yep. Especially,
Like-
I'm on my second cup of coffee. It's about to get crump.
Oh, I've already had cranberry juice and vodka. Now I'm on chocolate milk.
Unsolved mysteries.
'Cause I'm a little kid.
Hey, the new Unsolved Mysteries is the shit though. The Paranormal Rangers episode of the new Unsolved Mysteries is the best episode of a show, just about.
I'm partial to Forensic Files, like the old ones, because his voice just soothes me to sleep.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't matter if they're getting disemboweled or decapitated or whatever.
Forensic.
It puts me to sleep.
Mantis. Says the Mantis's name is Brack.
Oh yeah.
Brack.
And he's all hunched over. Well, actually, I was talking. Was it? It was. Oh my gosh! It was an alien. It was a UFO abduction case that I covered.
I like when Meatwad walks, he squishes. He's like,
Yeah. Oh, that's so gross.
and he's got hair.
He's
in
got
him.
the trail.
He's got hair because he's like,
Ugh.
all in the carpet.
Ugh.
All right, what were you saying? Aliens.
There was a case, and I'm trying to remember which one. There's a covered bridge, and there's a big stone monument, and I cannot believe, was it the Berkshire UFO case where they talked about mantis people?
I don't know. Berkshire
And-
sounds like England.
Shit, I don't know.
It sounds like the England Area 51.
I'm just like,
That might be something else.
I'd look it up, but my computer's inside, and right now I'm banished to the outside like a fucking rabid animal. Good God.
Rabbit animal.
Yeah.
Berkshire UFO case.
There was like the mom, the grandma, the boy, and his brother that were all in the car.
Oh, it is. Definitely a covered bridge, Berkshire. I don't know if it's mantis.
Yes.
But you got the name right.
I think when they got abducted and they were in like this round room, or they had like these hallways that like were like directional, like almost telling you like they couldn't figure out which way to walk or something. And I thought it said something about mantis looking or insect like aliens.
Robert Stack is the ball. I want a fight to happen in the comments over who's the best one. They say if you watch Murder Mystery Channel 24/7, you're a narcissist.
Maybe.
Or a NARAP, apparently.
Oh, I just got it. I was like, hold on. I was like, I don't see it.
NARAP.
I'm a narcissist. It's okay.
I am too. I try to fight it, but
I
sometimes
decided I
I think
didn't
it's a
like
good
it.
quality.
I didn't like interviewing people because I didn't get to talk.
No, my turn to talk.
Like I just edited it's a really good episode. It's going to be great when it comes out. The guy's story is phenomenal. His encounter was just outrageous. But it was 2 hours long. And I was just like, I'm going to fall asleep. Well, it's because I was recording it late because I was trying to work around his schedule. So I was like super tired. I already took my medicine. I was like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. But it's a really badass story or encounter.
I like the podcast guys go like it's usually an author that talks the whole time. You don't have to say much, but at the same time, I want to get in there and ask questions. And I'm like, they're just doing their bit.
Well, we decided. I actually did. I had it might be episode 13. It's not out yet, but it was he's an author and he writes like not paranormal, like fantasy type, dragons. So dragons were our topic. And he was talking about this book that he wrote. And like I told you earlier, when you were trying to ask a question, I knew exactly what you were trying to say. This poor guy, I was literally like, oh, like this happened and this happened. What if this happens? And this, and he's just looking at me. He's like, have you read my book? I'm like, no. He's like, that is exactly, you're giving too much away. I was like, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm reading your mind.
NDA beforehand.
I was like, it's like I'm reading your mind. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
I'll stop.
Yeah. Or when you could send messages, it's always a good one. Like when I don't want to go to the grocery store to get something and my husband's out, and I can just be like, yeah, get me some Pringles.
Does that work?
Yeah. Well, it works for me. I mean, I don't know how many times he's come home and I've been like, oh crap, I forgot to put blah, blah, blah on the list. And he's like, yeah, for some reason I grabbed this. I thought maybe we needed it. And I was like, yes. The other day, actually, what's really funny, I went to the grocery store, which like never happens because I always get sick. But I went, and for whatever reason, I was like, man, I really feel like I got to buy some sausage. Like biscuits and gravy, right? Like I'm thinking biscuits and gravy. I'll buy some sausage. I come home, put the groceries away. My husband ends up making hamburgers. I get a Snapchat from my mother with a bowl of biscuits and gravy. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, son of a bitch.
So you wouldn't like the Walmart near me today. They's about out of everything because all this snow.
Oh, I bet.
They hardly had any bacon left.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it got raided. Like we were in a zombie apocalypse situation for a couple of days.
We have that every first weekend of the month.
Shark Week.
Yep. Like
the only thing they had left was Jimmy Dean sausage. I was like, why didn't you get that? This is actually the best sausage. People ain't got $1.50 more.
Deal.
What'd you say, Monster? I lost my comments. Monster Quest episode. It could have been Doug Hycheck.
What was?
The mantis people somewhere.
Oh,
mantis, like
so
people.
a lot of times, okay, apparently today is shout out day. I have shouted out podcasts like 10 times.
It's
In my
okay.
defense,
That's what we do.
this is my 3rd episode, so I've had plenty of time.
That's actually the purpose of this.
The Cryptonaut podcast, fucking phenomenal. Like, grade A. I love them. And I think that's where I might have heard it the first time, but I can't remember.
Lots of stuff runs together at this. Like, that's why I've got like 2 monitors going. People talk. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, it's like I only get one, and I've decided mine is a little slower than yours.
It may be. Since you're a guest.
I'm not fancy enough for the fast
No.
messages.
Gotta have the. Or if you're on your phone too, it may be something different. I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm on my phone because I got kicked out here.
Yeah. Wouldn't last a day without
And I
Rash
didn't
or
wanna-
Sambo.
I didn't want to move all my equipment out here.
And chat's popping.
Yeah,
These
Sam.
people. Bat podcast.
Oh, hey! I just recorded
Yay, Bat.
with them.
Get a hold of me too now. You need to get on me. Get on my show.
Yeah.
Home and away. We got Tommy Swiggers here. Haven't seen him in a while. Everybody's popping. Wendell's late.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what's more important. Wendell, what have you been doing? Wendell must have been on a date or something for him to be 30 minutes late.
I'm glad you went date. I was going somewhere a lot worse than that.
Well,
I'm horrible.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I made it this long. I made it 31 minutes without a sex joke. That's a record.
Wendell was in
Damn.
the shower. Wendell was cleaning the shower. He was cleaning and it went off.
Oh shoot.
Cedar bottoms. What the hell is that? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I just had a picture of like wooden pants.
Yeah, just picturing like the the Dutch wear the wooden shoes.
Yeah.
These are like wooden pants.
I was thinking like SpongeBob SquarePants style, but just wood.
Mhm.
Oh,
It got so cold here the other day, it was like 0 degrees. And people were taking their pants and standing them up and freezing them.
why would you
In
do that?
But they put them in water and take them outside and stand them up and let them freeze. And they would
Why?
stand up. I don't know.
Oh, just for to
Something
make
to do.
Fresno night crawlers?
Yep. I showed my daughters that the other night. I got a shirt for Christmas. It's got all the famous cryptids on it. The Fresno Nightcrawler was on there. It's like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's most likely fake, but it's the weirdest fake you'll ever see.
I've got a Fresno Nightcrawler shirt. My kid came out and he's like, Mom, I saw this video where they found footage of the Fresno Nightcrawlers. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. He's like, if I see it again, I'll show it to you.
I asked her that a while ago. Chris said they got worse after she
Yes,
died,
I did, Chris, by the way.
but she had them.
I can tell you one. Okay, I can tell you a couple of them. They're on my episodes too, so I won't give you all of them. But
Okay.
I'm trying. I think it's 7 and 9 are the 2 haunted or my encounters, my personal ones. I think I saw a demon, and I think he followed me, and I think he's just kind of been here. So
That's
I was at my
substantial.
house. Yeah. I was probably 15, maybe. I think I had like my permit, whatever. And my mom wanted me to go get some, I don't know, sugar or something from my aunt's house. And it's like the super dark outside. And she literally lives like across like an actual pond.
Is this a drug deal reference?
No, I don't know what the hell she needed it for. I don't know.
Get me the shirt.
But when my mom said, I need it, go get it, your ass better go get it. You don't come back empty handed. So we had this old, it's like a gold Mercury minivan. And of course, me with my permit, I'm like, ooh, I'll do it. I'll drive. Give me the keys. So I get the keys and I'm responsible. I took driver's ed and I get in the van. I'm in the seat. I'm checking my mirrors, even though I'm just driving like 30 seconds up a driveway. But, and I'm kind of looking and I put my hands on the steering wheel. And about that time, I just had this like horrible feeling, like something was watching me. And I could see out of the corner of my eye in the passenger seat.
What?
Like
No.
a big black mass. And so me being, an idiot apparently at 15, I was like, okay, I'm going to look at it, right? Because like I closed my eyes and I open them back up and I can still see it out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, it'll probably be gone if I look at it, right? So I like real slowly, I turn and I look, and the motherfucker is still there. It's looking like it's just
Look back at you.
yes. So it was this big black mask, kind of like No Face from Spirited Away without the mask.
Mhm.
And it was all black, but it almost had like these huge like black sockets that seemed like they were even darker than black, if that could even be possible. And it was like turned, so it was like sitting in the seat like it was being proper, but like turned the top half of its body, and it had this arm that was like outstretched on the dashboard, and it had these like huge, long, like sharp fingers, and it was just staring at me. And like the whole
Was
time
it
I'm looking
blurry
at
or
it,
like just a
no,
a
it was
solid mass?
It was, if you just threw a sheet over my passenger seat, like it was solid, like it was there.
Okay.
I could see it, and it was looking right at
See.
me. But it was looking at me. What was weird is it almost felt like it was like draining something. Like I was getting kind of tired. I was like, it looked like it was looking in my soul. It was really creepy.
Mhm.
And so I just, looked back at the steering wheel and I closed
It's
my eyes and
Voldemort.
I'm like, you've got to go. You've got to leave. Like, get the hell out of here. I was like, I don't know what the hell you are, but go away. And so I, peeked one eye open and it was gone. And I'm like, okay, cool. I go up to my aunt's house. I get whatever the goods were, and I'm on my way back. And the driveway went straight. And at the very end was like a light pole. It's just like, but it was weird. It wasn't like a street lamp because I was out in the middle of nowhere. And it would like turn itself off and on, like dimmer, or I don't know how it worked. But anyway, so right about the time I was turning, it came out from underneath the van. And oh my God, this gives me the willies.
The thing did? It came out from under the van that was in the driveway?
Like it crawled under my van while I was still going. And it crawls and it went straight towards the light. But it's like it had its hands flat and its elbows were up in the air and its knees were up in the air. And it was like scurrying, almost like a bug mixed with the lady from The Ring, where it was kind of like phasing in and out of it, glitching.
Hell no.
And oh yeah. And so it goes all the way down. It goes up the street pole. And when it hits the top where the light is, the light explodes. Aw, thanks. But the light bulb, they just exploded. And we actually had to have people come fix it like 2 days later because like it just shattered the inside of this light bulb. Yes, it was, at first it was in the vehicle with me. Yes. So
it crawled out from under it.
That was the first thing I ever saw. Welcome to the party.
Nope. Nope.
I also
said nope.
Yeah, there was a ghost girl. There was a ghost man that was watching me in the bathroom. Scared the shit out of me. But the crazy thing about, I just assume it's a demon because I'm like, I know it's not a person. It's not a spirit. I think it's just a demon. And after that, I didn't see it until about 2 months ago. I was laying in bed and I was just laying there, minding my own beeswax, and it's 3 a.m. and I open my eyes and it should be dark, but it's almost like I could see just enough light to see where everything is in my bedroom. And it's kind of got a blue hue to it. And out of the corner, like the side of me, I see that same arm and these hands with those long, sharp fingers, like the Grinch. Not
That's what I'm thinking, like a black Grinch.
Not furry. They were sharp and smooth and just black. I was actually doing my hair at 3 a.m. when that other one showed up. But this one, so it reaches out, and what's weird is I was laying there. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel threatened. It's almost like I recognized it and I just let it do whatever it wanted to do. And it just reached out and it like stuck its hand out and like right in the middle of my bicep, just 3 times. It was like just this 3 little things, like 3 times. And then it backed its hand up and I woke up. But what's weird is because I looked and like I said, it felt like a kitchen knife, like the tip of a kitchen knife, just barely touching me. Almost like I could hurt you if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. And then it just like backed off and I woke up and then that was it. Oh, and the next time I talked about it, I had a spontaneous bloody nose that gushed everywhere. And my video for that episode magically was nothing but a black screen. So
See, you just say that so
Yeah.
nonchalantly.
because like I said, so much weird stuff happens to me, and that I just am like, oh, like it's just another thing that happens. Like our treadmill turning on its own, or the Keurig brewing a cup of coffee with no cup all over the counter, and things moving, and it's just they don't. For the most part, nothing's been horrible.
Our Keurig did that at work one time. It was just because they hired
No,
people
I
too
don't even
young.
know what that is. What is Insidious: The Lost Key?
It's a
I
horror
don't watch
movie.
I don't watch scary movies, which is another thing I put into consideration. I don't watch scary movies, like ever. I don't watch horror movies. I don't. Nope. I pretty much watch cartoons, or like old comedy, like Ace Ventura, or Rush Hour, or Shanghai Nights. Oh yeah.
I love
Well,
Ace Ventura.
there's more than one in here, so I don't think it's just one guy having a blast.
Wait, what's the blue hue?
I don't know
missed
what the
blue
blue
hue.
hue. Oh, dimensional.
I think you said your
being.
bathroom had a blue hue.
No, when I was in bed and it woke me up and it was like touching me, it kind of had like a bluish hue.
Okay,
to
I
the
was thinking you
room.
said like your light was blue in your room or something.
Oh no, my bathroom. When I take a shower, the lights. Well, not all. There's 2 sets of lights in the bathroom, and one of them always flickers when I get in the shower.
Always?
Or well,
Just
actually,
you?
when I'm in the bathroom. Apparently, it doesn't do it for my kid or my husband, but when I go in there, it flickers. And I'm
Well,
pretty
like that.
sure. Yeah, well, I think so. Like I said, I'm usually pretty good at picking things up, and my brain does some really weird things I don't understand. And sometimes when things happen, it's almost like I can visualize in my mind like what this thing looks like. And if that's the case, then there's obviously the kids. Then there's the demon thing,
Mhm.
and then I have an old lady, and I have
I have one of those too.
Yeah, I've got 2 men.
An
One
old
is
lady.
like mid-20s, the other one's more like mid-30s, and one's a lot taller and one's a lot shorter than the other one. Whoop. But yeah, so they're just kind of everywhere.
That's crazy. Like your house, is it like Indian burial ground or something? I mean,
It's
an
not the
old
house.
morgue? Just you
It's-
everywhere you
It's
go.
every house I've ever lived in. So, and it's always the same
Okay.
thing. So I think it's just me. I'm haunted, not the house.
Well, I mean, there's worse
But-
things you could be.
I did ask them to fuck with my husband, and they listened.
Oh shit!
I
feel like
command the dead. Like straight up. I was frustrated. All this stuff was happening, and he calls it hocus pocus. He doesn't believe anything. And so I literally was in my kitchen, and I'm like, guys, listen. I know you're here. I've seen you. I've heard you. I've seen what you're doing. He doesn't believe me, so fuck with him for a little bit. The next day, I got the phone call about the Keurig machine, and he called me like it was so between me leaving for work and him getting up for work, the Keurig machine was on the counter, and he calls me. He's like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "There's coffee everywhere." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You just brewed a cup of coffee and left it?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "It looks like the Keurig machine brewed a large cup of coffee. It's all over the counter, the floor, the cabinets. It's everywhere." And I was like, "Babe, I've not touched that Keurig machine in over a month." I wasn't
That's the
even
only
in
thing
the
they did
house.
to him.
Oh no! So that was day
I was
one.
gonna say. I was about to say it sounds like just.
So then he's like, "Oh, it's electrical stuff. It's electrical stuff. Whatever."
Mhm.
And day 2, I get another phone call, and he's like, "Babe," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "The treadmill just turned itself on." I'm like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Repeat that." He's like, "It turned itself on." So apparently, so in my enclosed porch, actually, this little yellow piece right here, that's the front door. And so you walk through the front door, and then you have to go through the screen door or the storm door to check the mail or whatever. So he was going to check the mail, and I had a treadmill on this side of the porch that I used all the time and never had any issues with, mind you. So he gets through the front door, he unlocks the porch door or the other door, and he goes to open it, and the treadmill turns itself on, just starts running in the corner. And when he's calling me, I can hear it running in the background.
Oh,
And he's like,
distinctive sound too.
He's like, what do, yeah. He's like, what do I do? And I'm like, go to the treadmill. I'm like, there's a knob, slide it to the left all the way. It'll turn it off all the way to the right. It'll speed it up. He goes, it is all the way to the left.
Chet.
I'm like, okay, we'll take the safety switch, pull the safety switch out because that'll automatically kill it, whatever. And I
Unplug it.
hear the snap and you still hear burn. He's like, that didn't work either. And I'm like, unplug it from the wall? Maybe? And he unplugged it and it quit. And he was like, thank God that worked. We'd have to fucking move.
Yeah, that's
But it's like 2 or 3 days in a row, like shit like that was happening. And he still didn't believe me.
see, they should have kept it going.
Yeah. But
Must not have had enough energy in them just to get
like,
that.
oh, I'm like, I gotta pee. Sitting out here in the cold making me gotta go.
Well, you can. I mean,
Can I run away for a minute?
yeah. I mean, that's
Okay.
that's that
Sorry,
is
y'all.
allowed.
I'll turn everything off, but I gotta go.
You can,
BRB.
you can turn the mic off, or not or the camera off. It doesn't matter. We'll just see we'll check what's going on. Let's see what Duffy has to say. I dated a girl that loved Marilyn Manson in high school. It was always a good time, even though the dark side was right there. All the more reasons to have fun. See, Duffy's dating Sith Lords. When I read this, some people do embrace the dark side. I'm sure she's one of the dark lipstick. I just think of Bane. I was bald in it. Good night, Tommy. Have fun. Have a great night. Yeah, it's been a good episode so far. I'm glad that I'm thankful sometimes I don't have to deal with paranormal activity regularly because I don't know if I would handle it, but maybe if you got used to it. I just don't know if you get used to it. It'd be like living with snakes. Like, oh shit, there's a dead kid in the bathroom again. Snake in the dresser. I wouldn't like it. It's like the paranormal equivalent of living in Australia. You get used to it. Wait, what does that mean? Did you just volunteer to be a podcast guest? I don't know. It's always scared me. I have dreams of that. It happens to me a lot, but I've never had it happen. Well, maybe in the dreams it is happening, and I just don't know it. I just think it is. Now I'm scared to go to sleep. The Freddy Krueger. I woke up at 2:30 this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. I was up until my alarm went off to telework. I'm just like, fuck. And then I got this tomorrow morning. I got an episode with Danny Lee in the UK. We're going to be I'm going to be live at 2 p.m. England Standard Time or whatever time zone it is over there. Oh God, Kevin. What if this is the dream? Then why do I got to go to work if it's the damn dream? If I'm in a dream, I'm doing something else like, hard drugs and driving a Camaro really fast. 2 chicks at one time, man. If I'm in a dream. Fucking A. Badass. Yeah. So everybody on here at 8 a.m. Central tomorrow, 9 Eastern, I will be live with stronger coffee than this and talking to the UK from our UK debut. Hopefully, Daniel will send it around to some people because I like to get some of those guys in the chat. Be like, okay, mate, we're in the chat. I'd like to relay the ghost horse story from a restaurant that was on the grounds of a very old safety home. Oh, stately homes. What the hell's a safety home? A converted stable used for a workshop for maintenance people. Heard it, didn't see it. Man, I guess can you imagine just hearing a horse and it's not there?
Ah,
Doing sound effects.
okay,
about
whatever.
that.
I don't know what I missed, but that alone, I just talked to somebody who covered a story where they were in the basement. They could hear the horse.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Eric Freeman Sims, I think, did that, didn't he? Didn't he have a dead horse run through him or something? Eric Sims from Unseen Paranormal?
Yeah. Yeah.
At
That's
the
who I
battle.
was talking to.
Yeah, we talked about this. Me and
Sorry.
Eric are bros, man.
I'm with it. I'm totally with it. God, I love him. His voice is so amazing. I'm not
met
gonna lie, I'm a little jealous.
the first time I met him. I walked up to him and said, Eric, where do I go? He's looking, who are you? I was, oh yeah, Bobby Dizzle. You're over there, booth 23. I'm like, fucking A.
That's awesome.
What is the neighing? It was the neighing noise? Oh, that's even scarier. I'm just hearing hoofs. I can't imagine just hearing a disembodied.
That was a good horse.
I have to do it. My kids are like, well, who is neighing in the bathroom here? What if it was a gay horse? Like an evil hey. Hey, that's what gay horses eat. He said, what if she doesn't come back? Well, we're going to talk to herself for 30 minutes. Is what we're going to do.
I'm right here.
We're gonna sit here till I have 1,000 subs is what I want to do. Like a damn hunger strike.
I'm like, you can see me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I'm right here. Sorry, I've had so many clothes on because I'm sitting out on the porch freezing my tits off. It took me a while to get down to my skivvies.
He said I broke the speed of sound on my bike. I like Eric. He was talking. What was he talking about? Something about. Oh man, about. I don't even want to say it because I'll screw it up and make it really offensive. But he was saying about how I won't go into it. It's I'd have to say it in context to make it relevant to the conversation. I just won't. But anyway, yeah, he's a cool cat. And with that, I can't remember, was it the Trousdale house that he was talking about with the battlefield, or was another one? It was the.
I would like to point out that I knew exactly what you were talking about, and I've been gone.
Yeah.
Woo! Points for me.
Yeah. He was well. Joey is
Gettysburg. Was it? We talked about Gettysburg.
It was like a battlefield. It might have been Gettysburg, but Joey is in I think he's in Ireland or Scotland. He was talking about how he saw that. How he saw a horse.
He saw it?
Or he heard a ghost horse, heard it neigh.
Oh.
But he didn't see it.
That's kind of creepy.
Late on the chat. I'm just catching up. You don't know what it's like to be a producer and a host and a character at the same time.
A character at the same. Character should come naturally.
I'm putting on the front here. I'm really just like a white nationalist. Just
wait, what?
Very stoic all the time.
I don't even know if I could try. Hold on. I can't do it.
Yeah.
If I was at work, I could do it. Maybe if I think about work, I could stop smiling.
I can't do that at work either. I'm even worse at work.
Then I sit with my headphones on and I turn it up so loud that I can't hear anybody, and they don't have to ask me any questions. And then I just sit there the whole time contemplating walking in front of a moving bus.
My job's not that bad yet.
Mine's horrible. I think I'd rather scoop my eye out with a rusty spoon.
Got to be rusty, so you have to get a shot afterwards.
I already got a tetanus shot. I had to get one whenever I started working there.
Good Lord, where is it?
I work with needles.
Oh, I was like, where the hell?
I make medical devices.
So what, are you working on the railroad? You got to be around rusty shit all the time.
No, I say I make medical devices, and so they're always weird about getting poked with stuff.
Only heard it last one out of the kitchen. It was 1 a.m. and nobody around. Ghost horse.
That's just different.
And what if the ghost horse isn't residual? What if it's like an intelligent ghost horse? It's just walking around, following you around, and just like a ghost horse eye looking at you.
Oh, as long as it doesn't do that thing with its head where it like hits you in the butt with its nose,
yeah,
you know, like scoot you along, or like bite you in the back.
They nibble at you with their lips.
Ugh. Well, I could go for that.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, it seems like I could make it. I made 20 more minutes.
Have we been going this for 53? How is that even possible?
Because I'm awesome.
I thought we were 20 minutes in. I wasn't even paying attention.
Because I'm awesome. Maybe we had missing time.
I hope so.
As far as I know,
do you have any other family members that are intuitive for the audio only listeners?
I don't think so. There might be one. So this sounds kind of weird, but we kind of have. There's like back a ways. There's kind of some like witchy stuff, I guess.
Woo-hoo.
But I don't think anybody really. Nobody's programmed like me. I'm a unicorn.
Yeah, they probably didn't even admit. Like they probably didn't even admit it back then.
Oh, my mom saw the same little girl I saw.
Which one?
I didn't tell you about that one.
No, I was going to say, I missed something.
Okay. This one's a short one. So, again, I was, God, that'd be disappointing.
Yeah. Well, now my day's ruined.
But I was working late. I worked at McDonald's, and so I would like close or whatever. So I'd be home like super early, super late, whichever way you look at it. And when in our house, when you walked in the front door, it was kind of like a sitting area, living room thing. And there was a couch that was up against the wall to the left and sitting long ways. So if you didn't walk around it, it would like take you out at the kneecaps and you just like eat shit onto the couch. And then past that room was the kitchen. And then to the next to it in an L shape was the other living room where the TV and the wood stove was, because I lived in little bumfuck Egypt. But between the kitchen and the couch, to the left was a hallway, and that hallway had the only bathroom in the house. And then past that was all the kids' bedrooms. And it's late. I was walking in, and I opened the door, and I just look up, and I see this little girl standing on the other side of the couch. And she had long dark hair. She looked like she was wearing a nightgown. It's late. She looked almost the same age as my little sister at the time. And so I was like, oh, hey. And about the time I would say something, she looked at me and then ran down the hallway towards my bedroom. So
just looked at you.
Yeah. Oh, no, that'll be a little creepier here in a second. So my mom, being my mom, stay up till all the kids are home. And I walked around and I was like, hey, Mom, we're going to call her Sandy. Does Sandy have a friend over? She's like, no. Why? And I'm like, are you sure? She's like, if there's another damn kid in my house, don't you think I'd know? Because it's my mother. People wonder where I get it. That's where I get it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I just saw a little girl in the living room. I was like, I said, I tried to talk to her. I said, but she ran down the hallway towards the bedrooms. I thought maybe she had a friend over and she thought she was in trouble or something. And my mom's like, what'd she look like? And I'm like, well, long, straight, dark hair. Kind of, it's almost like ruffled, like messy. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you cleaned up the girl from The Ring.
Yeah.
She had but it was like, she had this white nightgown that was like a thicker strap, but like ruffly. And it was like rufflies in the front. But that's all I said about her at first was, she was like, it was like white, and all of that. So she didn't have any bangs or anything. It was just like straight on the sides, kind of like, Ted Bundy's Perfect Woman. And
Jennifer Aniston.
Sure. And and my mom's like, oh, so you saw her too. And I'm like, who the fuck am I seeing? And what do you mean too? So my mom says that she's seen her outside. She's seen her in the kitchen, and it's just a little girl, and then she just disappears. She doesn't do anything. And then a lady that used to live with us saw her. Well, she saw her running.
Just appears and disappears.
Yeah, she saw her running in the front yard. It was like kind of foggy, and so she slammed on her brakes, pulling out of the driveway because she thought she was going to hit this little girl, but she just disappeared right in front of her car. But when she turned and looked at me before she took off down the hallway, she had like a cute little button nose. She didn't really have any expression on her, like her mouth was just kind of like resting bitch face, but she had no eyes. Like this, like if you were to cut like this whole section out here around your eye with like an ice cream scoop and just yank it out, it just black holes is all she had. And she just looked right at me and took off. Yeah. But it was almost like, so if you just take something out of your socket, you'd still have the eyelids and stuff. But this is like remove the eyelids, like from the eyebrow all the way down to your cheekbone.
Yeah, it's like the bone hole.
Yeah. And then she just took off down the hallway. I was like, okay. I'm like, that's, that was weird. But so multiple people have seen her. But
did they all report the eyes or lack thereof?
So no one else mentioned the eyes, but no one else mentioned seeing her like straight up, like she never looked at them. Like
You
the
might have been
one
the closest.
she was running sideways across the driveway, and so she didn't get a look at her, like the front of her face. And my mom said that when she saw her, it was like her back, like she was standing by the counter, like looking at the countertop. You're welcome.
Man,
No, I can
That's
give you
just
really.
crazy.
That's not even the creepy one.
that's not the
creeper-
creepy one.
No, the man is the creepy one. That's the one that scares the crap out of me.
You hear that, Joey? That wasn't creepy.
He still gives me the willies.
Buckle the fuck up.
Okay, what the hell? You know what? We're here. We're live. We're doing it, and I'm feeling good. So I'm going to tell you about my bathroom creeper.
I'm not going up. I'm not respecting your time at all. You're here until you're here until you're tired.
Yes. Oh, that's going to be forever because I didn't take my medicine. So I do want to make sure that I say again, I don't watch scary movies. To be fair, I have never even, I've referenced The Ring in the movements because I saw like a preview. I've never actually seen the movie. There's a movie, I looked it up. This is how sad I am. I looked it up maybe 5 years ago. It's like a classic horror film, and there's like the guy with the shower, the shower thing. It's like a famous thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Norman Bates.
Sure. I don't know. But there's like a guy and he's like, and now everybody's afraid of the shower or the shower curtain or what's behind the shower curtain, I guess. Not really the shower curtain itself. Anyway, so I have no idea. Again, I don't obviously don't know what that movie is, but everybody always asks me whenever I tell the story. So this is good. I'm like, whew, bringing me back. All right. We had
Lower
another
the lights a little bit for this one.
Oh, I so could too. Oh, hold on.
Bobby Dizzle After Dark. That's scary. I don't get scared. I'm turning them up. I'm turning them up. I'm scared. Mom.
Am I spooky?
Where's my Bible at?
As long as you can still see me, we're good. Okay.
Mhm. That does have an
Psycho.
ambient
Maybe
spirit.
I think that is what it is.
Yeah, I mean Norman Bates.
Yeah. So
And it's chocolate syrup.
I grew up in a small house. There were my stepdad and my mom and 4 kids in this tiny house. We knew a lady who was going through a really nasty divorce, and her ex-husband was literally psychotic. I mean, he almost got shot. To be fair, my dog attacked him because my dog's lovely and he hated men. But he literally stalked her on the property. And we had to threaten to end his life if he did not get the fuck out of there. So anyway, so for safety's sake, she moved in with us with her 3 kids. So majority of those children were all teenage girls, and we had one fucking bathroom.
Ooh.
There's
That's
like
nasty.
14 people in this house. Well, maybe not. Well, 10? No. There's 6 of us. 10. 11 if there was like the bonus kid. But anyway. So anybody growing up with teenagers and stuff like that, you know, I mean, bathroom time is priceless. We also had well water. So you really wanted the first shower.
Yep.
And even if
Grew
we
up in
didn't
well
leave
water.
first, we might have left for school at 7 in the morning, which meant if you wanted a good shower slot, you're waking up at like 4 in the morning just to get a shower. Anywho, I have problems sleeping. I always have. So it was no surprise to me. I wake up, it's probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can't go back to sleep. I don't know why I'm awake. I just had this feeling like I need to be awake, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and get first slot in the shower, right? I'm just going to do this thing. So I go in the bathroom, and I'm scrubbing, and I just kept feeling like there was somebody in the bathroom with me, which was really kind of creepy. And so I kept peeking, behind the curtain, and there was never anybody there. And then I was, washing my hair, and I swore I saw like a shadow of like a person, like an adult, not one of the kids, but like one of the adults walking through. And I'm like, well, that's weird. So I peeked again, and there was nothing there. So I was like, fuck it. I get done showering, and I had this big log, mane, so to speak. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get ready for school. Whatever. I'll just get ready. So I blow dry my hair, whatever, and I just can't get over this weird feeling that like somebody's watching me. So I had the door to the bathroom open, and when it opened into the bathroom up, and it butted up against the shower. So when you stood with your back to the door, you were looking at the, what do they call it? The vanity with the mirror and all of that. But there was no room. So you had shower, door butted up against it, you're butted up against it, and you had like just enough room to get ready. I mean, this is tiny house. And so I do that, and I'm, blow drying, and I'm like, I always straighten my hair because, I'm a diva. And when my hair was long, those of you who don't know, those of us with really long and shitty hair, you have to like do it in chunks. And so I was, I would turn to the side and straighten it, right? In big long streaks. And a lot of times, I don't know why I do it, but I still to this day do it. I close my eyes while I'm doing it for some reason. But I was closing my eyes, and then all of a sudden, like, I just got cold chills. I mean, head to toe, everything was like, like when you do one of those numbers, you're like, ooh. And I have total cold chills. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, there's something behind me. And I opened my eyes, and I looked in the mirror in front of me, and there was a fucking man behind me, like right over my shoulder, like taller than me, and just right there. And the dude had like sandy blonde, like bowl cut, like think Little House on the Prairie. He had like these brown suspenders and this like off-white shirt with these two little buttons on it.
So that sounds like a 1800s kind of thing.
Yeah, and again, I could see everything except he didn't have eyes. It was just black sockets. And I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm thoroughly confused because, again, my back is touching the door. There's no room. But when I'm looking in that mirror, he is behind me. And it's like I could like feel him breathing on the back of my neck. And I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And I just looked right at it, and it didn't move. It's like staring at me in the mirror, just watching me get ready. And he was there for a hot minute, and then I closed my eyes, and I was like, nope, nope, nope. And I look up, motherfucker is still standing behind me. And it's like, but instead of looking in the mirror at me, it was almost like he was looking at me from behind. And just like he was watching me, trying to figure out what I was doing.
Somehow creepier.
So yeah, I shut everything off, and I hauled ass into my bedroom, and like a 5-year-old child, I hid under the blankets, and I did not move for hours. I didn't even finish getting ready. I just threw that shit up in a ponytail because I wasn't going back in there, and I will never get 3 o'clock showers again.
Yeah, you might have found the bewitching hour for that house.
Yeah, he's a creeper. And
did your mom see him too? Is it
no one had seen him, but they looked like they were around like the same time period. But nobody else claimed that they saw him. It's just me. No one saw the demon either. So
that's creepy. That sounds like a local house.
Not
local haunted, but like a local haunting, a local house.
That house was built by my great-grandparents, or no, my grandparents built that house. There was a house where I went to go get the sugar from my aunt. They built a house there, but before they built their house was this like beat up, rundown shack house that belonged to my great-grandparents. And they tore it down and built their house. So like my family has built the houses, but I don't know if there's any history on the land itself or anything.
Yeah, I tried
to find it, but I couldn't find anything. Like the only records were when my grandparents built it. That's as far back as it goes.
What state is it in?
Indiana.
Indiana. That's right. You said you were in Indiana. I don't know why I thought you were in Pennsylvania.
I'm going to Pennsylvania. That's so funny. I'm going to Pennsylvania later this year.
Well, you never know. I mean, people settled all through there.
And that's what I was like, maybe people were passing through. I said, because they'd be maybe if they were in Pennsylvania, because a lot of people started there. And if, head west, young man, maybe they just died of diphtheria or whatever.
Dysentery.
Dysentery. That's what it was. Dysentery. Yeah.
I know they didn't get bit by a rattlesnake in Indiana.
We have rattlesnakes.
You do?
Yeah.
I always heard you didn't.
We do.
I had some relatives up there that said they wouldn't come down here because of the snakes.
We have
rattlesnakes. It always made me wonder because it wasn't like there's a wall. There's
I don't think they have oh my gosh. I used to know the exact name of it, but now I can't think of it.
I would think they'd have timber rattlers.
We have copperheads.
Really?
I think we do have timber rattlesnakes down like south in like Brown County.
Yeah, it had to be my kinfolks were from Vincennes.
Oh, that's somewhere nearby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if it sounds familiar, it's nearby because I have a horrible sense of directions. Oh,
I'm like dysentery.
Carrie, you're gay.
He died from dysentery.
Oh, it took me a second. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's an Oregon Trail joke. Those are the best.
But yeah, say it's I'm telling you, my brain works in mysterious ways.
What does Natasha think of the significance of 3 a.m. time, 3 knocks?
So
mocking the Holy Trinity.
I've not heard that it was mocking the Trinity. I have heard that typically if it is 3, because I do have something that knocks 3 times on the wall whenever I'm half naked getting dressed. A lot of people say it's demonic. Okay, here's my thing about 3 a.m. I would say yes, 3 a.m. But if that's the case, do they or do they not put into consideration time change?
Yeah, I always thought that. I'm like, well, what the hell? How does it know?
Exactly.
You telling me in the spring it's knocking at 2?
Yeah, right. I'm like,
or 3, 4.
Or how do you know which one's the one? And then is it whatever time it was when they died? Whatever 3 o'clock was when they died?
Mm-hmm. Kind of like the movie National Treasure. Whenever they were trying to figure out when something happened, and it was the courthouse at the Liberty Bell. I'm like, wait a minute, it would be 4 o'clock because of daylight savings time. They all started running.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that where I don't know. I have noticed things, do typically come in 3s and stuff like that. I've not actually looked into a lot of it or anything like that. So gosh, I wish I could. I never know when it's going to happen. It just happens every now and then when I'm getting ready for work. So I guess unless you would be in my bedroom at 5 a.m.
You don't want Wendell there. Don't invite that vampire. He'll show up.
Well, maybe I should. Well, because it's only happened a few times.
Wendell said, I'll go knock on your door.
Well, what's weird is where I hear the knock, like sometimes I'll hear it on like the wall behind me where I normally record, but usually it's like in my room, and the only thing on the other side of that wall is the outside of my house. It's just brick. So there can't be anything knocking outside to make it sound like it's, I don't know. And it sounds like it's like something's like in the wall knocking. And I'm like, okay, like, hello. Oh, so that's another one. So I was I was editing, sorry. I think it was last week or the week before last. It's all kind of a blur. And I've got my headphones on, these same ones here that I use all of the time. Mm-hmm. And when you are editing in the software, you can see the volume of people talking, how loud, how quiet, any, dead space. You can see all of that in the recording. So I'm, listening and it's going, it's like talking. And then all of a sudden I hear like, hello. And then it goes on. And I'm like, and I didn't even hesitate. I go, oh, hello. I didn't even register in my head that there's no one here. I was by myself in the house talking to apparently a ghost voice in my headset. And so I was like, okay, hold on. So I went back and played it through again to be like, what? Because it sounded like a woman, probably like maybe 20s, 30s, like a younger woman. And it just goes, hello. And that was it.
Really? It was
And so I went back,
recording?
I played it through. It wasn't on the recording. It went on like nothing happened. It was only while I was listening to it that it interrupted me.
Kind of like
Well,
like a spirit box.
Yeah, it was just really, really strange. And I just had so the first recording I did today, I don't know if he's still on here. But I was talking to him and I was in the middle of talking, and then all of a sudden my voice got really weird. Like my throat felt funny, like something was pushing on my throat. And it's like I couldn't talk. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, that was really weird. He was like, and so he was telling me it sounded almost like when I thank you. When I stopped talking, he was like, it almost sounds like a growl. Like I was growling at him. I was like, no, I was trying to talk. I just couldn't. But
Sounds like you're getting channeled.
yeah, it's really it's really weird. Well, my husband swears I'm possessed in my sleep. I do have some doozy dreams though, like doozies. And every now and then, apparently, like I'll be quiet, and then you'll just hear like, like, and I'm like saying something.
Jesus.
And
like
he's
mummy.
like woke up. Yeah, he's like, what the fuck is that? And like he'll shake me. He's like, and I'm like, what? He's like, are you okay? Yeah.
You're talking in tongues again.
He's like, you were talking funny. And I'm like, what? And he goes, you weren't saying. I'm like, no, I was asleep. You just woke me up. But apparently I sound like I'm like growling, like guttural, like almost like a language he doesn't understand. But like a very deep. I'm drawing it from way down deep. I'm like,
yeah, speaking like ancient Egyptian.
yeah, I'm like, well, maybe I'm putting a curse on you. Try me now, sucker.
Channeled from Brack. Callback.
Yeah.
There is no Natasha, only Zool.
That is perfect. I love that movie.
Are you the key master? I'm the gatekeeper.
Oh my gosh, that movie is so funny. I need to watch that again. I actually just watched Masters of the Universe and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'll have to see if he does. So I actually tried putting an app on my phone to record me while I was sleeping, but it's like it would do part of the time and then it would like shut itself off. Like it would like malfunction in the middle of the night. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Convenient.
Yeah, right. I was like, well, that's probably when
only when she's channeling the demon does it not work.
And so I said, but apparently one time I was doing it and he tried to wake me up and I just got like louder and like more aggressive sounding and like was like he thought I was like yelling at him like in some weird voice. And then so he shook me again to wake me up and I'm like, and for whatever I woke up pissed. I was like, what do you want? And he's like, you were sounding really like it was creeping me out. He was like, I needed to wake you up because he goes, I was getting freaked out. And I was like, next time you let the demon sleep. I was like, do not wake her up. I was like, dick.
The host body is trying to rest.
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to feed.
You can't steal your dreams and your souls if you're gonna wake her up all the time, Tommy.
You want to know something really cool?
No.
Okay, this one's not scary. I don't think it's scary. I don't think it's scary. This is a friendly one, I think. Still weird.
I'm okay with all. Yeah.
So there have been 11 babies that I have known. Mom was pregnant, what the baby was, before mom even knew she was pregnant. Like around conception time, if we calculated it, was when I had the dream. And then they found out like a month later that they're like 4 weeks pregnant. Like I was like
an EPT.
Yeah. But what's weird is I can't control it. I can't control who it or when it just, it just happens. But I've also known people were going to die. Like with it, no one's made it past 5 days.
Wow. I wouldn't like that.
Usually it's like the same time, like it's happening as it's happening to me, or like the next day. Yeah.
So you feel like a live version of it.
It's weird. So, and it's people, I mean, it's been people that I don't know. It's been people that I know their name, but I've never actually met them. It's been people that I do know, or it's been people that I've never heard of this person. I've never contact with them. It's just like I had a dream that this person died and I watched them die. And then on the news the next day, the woman's face was on the news and she died.
Man.
And like even the way she died was exactly what I saw. It was really weird.
I was gonna say it'd be wild if you're like a family member, something like that. Like,
It
oh
is.
shit.
It is. So the last one that I had was the worst. It was the worst for me. So I'd already proven that this happens to me like 6 times. And I had a dream, I went to bed, and when I woke up in my dream, I'm always in their body usually. Like I'm in a body and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, this clearly is not my body because I don't have a penis. So, and like and I'm not really old. So I was, so I have to try to figure out like with clues, like who am I? Like where am I? What's going on? And so just from looking and stuff, I'm like, okay, I was my grandpa. And what's weird is I was in a hospital and my aunt was there, and it was almost like I had been hit in the head or something. I was very dizzy. Like I couldn't focus, I couldn't think straight, and my head hurt really bad, like in one spot. And I couldn't figure out, like what the hell happened. And then I was looking down, and then all of a sudden, like I couldn't breathe. Like it just felt like something was just squeezing my lungs so tight. And I was trying to talk to get help, and I couldn't. It's like I couldn't speak. Like I was trying, like I was in his body, and I was trying to like help, like somebody like help, and no one could hear me. Like I was just like sitting shotgun in the body. And then all of a sudden it was like everything around me just started to dim in this like circle until it was just like whoosh, and it was all black. And then I was up and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, he's gonna die. And I was super freaked out. And I told my husband, I was like, I need to take PTO. I've got to go see my grandpa because he lived in Missouri. So it took me a long time to get to him. And so I was like, I need to take PTO. Like, I've got to go now. I need to see him. He's not going to be here much longer. And again, my husband's like, oh, it's hocus pocus. It's fine. It was just a dream. It was a nightmare. Everything's going to be okay. It's fine. And I'm like, no. I was like, he's going to die. I was like, I just know it. I can feel it. I was like, he doesn't have much time. I was like, I need to see him because me and my pal were like tight, like super tight. And like I would drive the 9-10 hours to take him to the doctor and then drive home. And like when grandma passed away. And so, I was trying to figure out time, and then he's like, well, call him, talk to him. You'll feel better. He's probably fine. And so I was like, okay. I called him that day or the next day, and I was like, hey, how's it going? And he was coherent. We had a very nice talk. We talked about the Chiefs game that was Sunday night, and how they played, and what's going on, how you've been, and how's your heart stuff going. And then he was telling me about he was going on a date, and they were going to go line dancing and go have dinner. And he's like really old and not very mobile, so it was kind of cute. And
line dancing. And
oh hey. But so we had gone on there, and he was sounded totally fine. And I was like, okay, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Got off the phone, and he's like, so how was he? I'm like, he was fine. And he's like, see, I told you everything's fine. You don't have to worry about anything. It's fine. Don't even don't bother going. You don't want to use the PTO, blah, blah. I'm like, I still don't feel right. Something isn't right. Fast forward. So this is Monday when I talked to him. Friday, I worked weekends and I worked 12-hour shifts, and people knew I was non-existent during work. And I was at work and my phone rang, and it was my mother. Oh, wait, I forgot part of my dream. So part of my dream was while I was in the hospital and I was not coherent, we were trying to talk. Like, I was trying to talk to the family, but we couldn't find my brother. And my grandpa was really concerned that he wasn't going to get to say anything to my brother before he left. And so, like, we were all scattered, trying to figure out where the hell my brother was at, get him on the phone, whatever. So that's going to be important soon. But anyway, so fast forward to Friday, my mom calls me, and she never calls, and I'm like, and I knew as soon as the phone rang, and I'm like,
instantly.
I'm like, what happened? And she's like, well, your grandpa's at the hospital. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, this isn't good. And she's like, I'm like, no, Mom, you don't understand. Because I told her at the beginning of the week that this was going to happen. And so what happened was, he was in his room. He stood up from his recliner. He got dizzy and he fell, and he smoked his head on the corner of his table, split it open, was bleeding everywhere because it's a head wound. And they couldn't get my grandpa up on their own, so they had to call EMS to have EMS come and get him into the ambulance and get him to the hospital. When they got him to the hospital, they ran some tests and found out, one, he had to get his head stitched up because it was split all the way open. He had a concussion. He had COVID. He had double pneumonia. And so basically what had happened was, because he got COVID, he then got double pneumonia. Because he had double pneumonia, he couldn't get enough oxygen, which made him really dizzy when he stood up from his chair, and he smoked his face. And he did. He had a cut just in the same spot that I was saying it hurt. He had stitches. And when I was saying, I was dizzy and lightheaded, he had a concussion. So he was dizzy and lightheaded. And they said, we don't have much time. He's not going to make it. So we want to try to get everybody on a phone call, like a Zoom call. And so I'm like, okay. I'm not good at this, but let's do it. So they get my sister, my other sister, my mom, me. We can't find my fucking brother. He's not answering his phone. No one knows where he's at. So he has no idea what's happening. Just like in my dream, we can't find my fucking brother. And so we have this call, and he's barely coherent. He's like, for a couple seconds, he is, which made me feel horrible because there's like 6 people on this phone call, and he specifically said my name, like he wanted my attention. And I was like, yeah, Pat, I'm right here. And he's like, I love you. And I'm just like, I love you too, Pat. And everybody else is like, what the fuck?
But singled you out.
Yeah, and so he was like, I love you, what's going. He's like, I don't feel very good. Something's wrong. And I'm like, I know. And he's like, were you here? And I'm like, yes, Pat, I'm here. Like, I think I knew what he meant, but I didn't tell everybody, so I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He's like, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna take a nap. And I'm like, I know what that means. I've been there. That's exactly what I felt like when I died. I was like,
Did you see the phone in the dream, or?
Yeah. So in the dream, I was him.
Yeah.
So we were trying to get the phone call going, and then when I was there, I couldn't hear what was happening. Like, it was almost like Peanuts, want,
yeah,
kind of thing. And then, a few minutes later, I was gone. And so we're on the call. We hang up. My brother, thankfully, calls and gets to talk to him for like a minute or two. And then he's like, I'm really tired. I got to go. And then 10 minutes later, I got a phone call that he was gone. And I was pissed. I mean, I was livid. I got home and I was like, you fucking suck. I was like, I told you this is going to happen. I had time. I could have made it. I could have seen him before he died.
Ooh.
But you told me not to worry about it. Because you said I was losing my mind.
You don't ever tease him like I had a dream about you last night.
Oh, well, our new thing now is I keep having a lot of sex dreams. So they're really interesting.
It's like a preview to future events.
I hope so.
Hey,
None of them. Sorry, none of them involve him.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson seems to make a lot of appearances.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, it's not. Well, it's iffy. It's usually not guys.
Whoa.
But sometimes we mix them in. They're kind of here, there, and everywhere. Hey,
Caliente.
man. Yeah. Muy caliente.
Good drink of water for that one.
What's even really good is when you have lucid dreams. Those are the best kind.
I've never been able to do the lucid thing. I'm always either. I don't remember a lot of them lately.
I know, like mine are very, very, very vivid, and thankfully, so I take medicine now to help with the nightmares, because it would be like these horrible, vivid, lucid, like I would feel, see, taste, smell, everything. It's like I was there. But they would be like horrifying. I mean, I've been disemboweled. I've been decapitated.
Whoa.
I've been drawn and quartered. I've been lit on fire. You name it. Like I've drowned. I mean, it's just, and I would have horrible, horrible nightmares, and I don't know why. And they just show up, but they're better now. Now I just have really weird, vivid dreams, but they're not like scary.
It sounds like past life regressions.
Well, apparently I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
I really wish I could figure out like who I was in a past life. I think that's so cool.
The craziest thing about past life stuff is if time works like time probably works, is it's like all happened at the same time somehow. Like
saying like overlapping?
It's linear to us, like in all reality, it's all just happening and you're just there.
Well, that does kind of make that
sometimes. Especially if you think that
kind of. So, like I said, so some of my dreams that are really weird, they happen as they're happening. Like my other grandpa that I wasn't really that close to, I had a dream. That's actually the second one I had, and I was, I woke up and I was again in a hospital, which he was hospitalized, and everything was fading out just like it did in the other one. And when it all, blacked out, I woke up and I was like, I couldn't breathe. So I was like trying to catch my breath. And as soon as the phone rang, because at the time I was living with my mom, and what it was they were calling my mom, who was the one on the list, to inform if anything happened. She came around the corner and I was like, Grandpa's dead. And she's like, how did you know that? I'm like, I just know. Like I died when he died. It was really weird.
It was real time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really creepy.
I don't know if I want that power.
I don't know. Did I hear that right? This is the hallway, mother.
Oh, it's my daughter out here.
I love it.
Oh, it's
But
it's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean, it's weird stuff. Like I really wish I could learn how to use it. Because right now, I mean, it happens when it happens, and I have no control. Like it just does it.
You could go speaking to her on that alone.
That'd be pretty cool. Woo!
Yeah.
Give you the willies.
You heard the kid talking out here. The former PR man for Waverly Hills, like found like the secret of a murder that happened there, and so they're like connected with this spirit. And anytime he does he started talking about it on this show, and you hear this scream in the background. And his wife sent me the clip. He said, "Start it here and listen. You'll hear the scream." And I'm thinking, well, I've got people that scream outside my door anytime I do something that has to be quiet. So I don't know if that's.
Yeah.
And so she sends me another show she did, and the same screams in it. She goes, anytime we discuss this particular entity, the scream happens in the show. It's like, fuck, what?
So I have a lady that I record with, and every single time I record with her specifically, it's like this thing, something really does either really likes her or really doesn't like her, because it pops up all the time. So everybody listening, go to my Instagram page. On my Instagram page, like now, granted, I'm like a selfie whore, so go backwards a bit. There is one that looks like you're listening to a podcast, and it's a little video, and I believe it's green with a little ghost. It's ouch, was that a ghost? Is the episode. Click on it and listen to it, because that when we recorded that, there were 4, me and a co-host, and then her and her co-host. All women. We all had mics. There was not a man. There wasn't even a man in the house on either end. And this motherfucker decided he was going to start talking over me. And it didn't start until as soon as I started my story. We had already recorded like an hour and a half worth of shit before this popped up. It waited till I came on, and it recorded through my mic. And it's straight up. So it's like, you'll hear some like little ruffling, like it sounds like something's trying to say something at first. That's not what you're looking for. After that, when I start talking about, I was talking about Veggie Man. And yeah, when I start talking about that, I said something about Baby Groot. And then you straight up hear a man talk, like I'm just talking, and it's over me, and it says almost dead, and then just keeps going. And we didn't even hear it. She, bless her heart, found it when she was editing at 2:30 in the morning.
That's a good time to find something like that.
Yeah. She's like, I almost called you at 2:30 in the morning. I was like, I wouldn't have answered. I was like, but you can call me.
What's the what'd you say we're looking for?
Okay,
we
so it's on my Instagram. I posted it. It looks like you're listening. Sorry, I got hair poking me in the face.
Is it green?
Yes. And it's like, ouch, was that a ghost? And it's a little video.
Yeah.
Oh, can you play it?
We're going to see. Maybe. Let me see. Let's see if it's actually playing. It's weird. Instagram on a computer is very
temperamental.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't want to be on it. It's like, why am I here? And oh, hang on. I love these parts of the podcast because it's kind of like garbage time. So whatever we talk about doesn't have to be quality.
Does anybody have a question while we're waiting?
Yeah. Joey's here. And by the way, Joey, I thought you were already subscribed, which kind of makes me sad that you weren't. Don't like that at all. Don't like not being subscribed to, Joey.
Pass through into some gnarly. And at the end of these arms are 3.
No, keep going. I can hear it.
So think like a long stem, Baby Groot. Yes.
Groot. I love Groot.
Well, here's where we start venturing into some gnarly. And at the end of these arms are 3.
It restarts itself.
So think like a long stem, Baby Groot. Yes.
Groot. I love Groot.
Well, here's where we start venturing.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Sounds like the Indian tech support popping in there.
Almost dead. I was
dead.
like, I hope not. But she even broke it down like per microphone and found out it came out of my mic. It's always
That's
my
an interesting
mic.
tidbit to find there.
Yeah, so I have some in mind. So in the episode with Spirit Crew South Australia, that one's fucked up. So we had this whole thing we're going, we didn't really have a whole lot going on. We started talking about equipment that she uses in her hunts. And she talked about this teddy bear. And she said it's basically a big teddy bear. And oh, you missed it, Joey. Wow, I just had I think I just got possessed there. That was like an accent. I don't know which one, but it wasn't mine. Whew.
I think he was talking about how he wasn't subscribed. I thought he was subscribed, and then he wasn't. He resubscribed. Like you've been subscribed before.
But yeah, so
listening.
she was talking about this teddy bear, and she said if something like touches it or moves it or whatever, it like makes a beeping sound and its paws light up. And they say usually they get a lot of like child ghosts, stuff like that. And I just responded and said, oh, I know a couple spooks around here that would probably love to play with that. And then right after I say that, it almost sounds like something goes, mommy, like it's like, oh, like me, like over here. But then right after it is something not nice. Like it's almost trying, it sounds like it's trying to like shoo the kid away. It's like mommy, and then you hear like fuck off or something. Like it's like something really weird. And it's bananas.
Get out of here, kid. You bother me.
Like I was just, but it was really bizarre. But I get some weird stuff on there.
That sounds like it. This is way more than I thought I was going to get tonight.
Surprise! That's what I get all the time.
Yeah, those bears are like $400. I priced one.
What?
Yeah, they're a lot. I was
Maybe
going to give one
in Australia.
I was going to give one away, and I looked at the price. I'm like, I'm not giving that away.
Yeah, screw that.
I was going to give one away in exchange for like first one of 10,000 subscribers or something. So not worth that to me.
Did you say 10,000?
Yeah, it's like I give it away when I hit 10,000, like
Dear
a prize.
God. I've got like, oh wait, somebody went on my thing earlier and told me I have 11 subscribers.
Really? On YouTube?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I'm trudging along.
What probably doesn't help is so a lot of my stuff, we have the normal episodes, and so the primary playlist that people hear on YouTube is just my Spreaker episodes, like you would hear anywhere else that you listen.
It's just like a regular audio file. It's not like a video.
Yeah, correct. Well, yeah, kind of. It's got a picture, but yeah.
Yeah.
But because I have the Patreon subscribers that I have like the 2 tiers, and one of them gets everything. I mean, all of my Patreon videos, all of like any of like these episodes, like all the videos from my episodes, everything, and it's all like unedited. So like they have the chance to get all of that. So that's right. I had all the videos.
Had all the Patreons. I don't think I'm ready for a Patreon yet. I don't know who would pay to see me.
Well, I don't have anybody on there, but I have it there in case anybody does.
just in case. Whoa, what happened there?
Well, with the other podcast, I had a few, but they apparently didn't want to roll over. I don't know which one of these is which, so I'm getting ready to unplug here.
I have another channel. It's got quite a few subscribers, but it's not the same subject matter, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get like maybe a third of them. They'd be like, hey, why don't you guys come over here? Even if I can get them all, it'd be crazy. But I
mean, I've tried to, refer people from, we tried even before this one even, got created.
Mm-hmm.
We pointed people that direction. I had my social media and stuff going up, but yeah, so I don't really have nothing going on YouTube, and
the only way I've found to get people to come over here reliably is go on bigger shows. But so
I've been trying to see about.
It's a pain to find them.
Wow, wait, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, your breath! I saw it a while ago. I thought you were vaping.
I wonder how cold it is in here. I'm gonna look at it real fast. Oh my gosh, my little fingers are frozen.
So if it's any colder in Indiana than it is in Alabama, I mean, it's probably be cold. It's like 25 here.
It's 8 degrees.
Ooh, you're outside?
Yeah, feels like -5.
Good God. Toughen it out.
I'm always really warm anyway for the most part, so. But But I have little long johns on, and then I got my fuzzy jams.
Oh yeah, and your Oogie Boogie Jack Skellington.
Yep.
Don't tell that Oogie Boogie man a thing.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Leave the Oogie Boogie man out of this.
I like when they bring back the fucking Easter Bunny.
Yeah,
that's not Santa Claus. He's like, oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, I know. I was going to ask you. What have you done in the world of Bigfoot, like for your show?
So, I haven't done
the cryptid portion of the Creeps and Conspiracy.
Okay, so the cryptid part is kind of a mixed bag. So I have the Yule Lads, which I did for the first episode. I just released a Snallygaster, I think last week. Puckwudgies in 2 weeks.
Oh, you're doing those kind of cryptids.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going deep. That's cool.
Episode 12 is an interview with a man named Matt. He does Planet 412 channel. And shout out again, because I shout everybody out today. And he has I struggle because I'm like, he says dog man, but I'm like, is it a dog man? Like, are we talking werewolf? Like, what? But he goes into his encounter that he had with this beast, and it's a long one. It's a 2-hour long episode, so it's lengthy. But I have stuff coming up. I'm super excited. I've got to finish my notes for the Goblins of Zimbabwe. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Oh my god, hilarious. Definitely need to make sure I put like a double disclaimer in the front of that episode, though.
I love it when I have someone on that talks about other cryptids, because I don't hear that much about them. I know somebody I may throw your way that you would absolutely love.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, because I've got notes for the Goat Man, Bat Squatch, Chupacabra, Mongolian Death Worm.
Bat Squatch.
Moth Squatch. I think those are the ones that I have notes for. I do have, let's see, we did the Puckwudgie. I feel like I did another cryptid. I know I'm really heavy on the ghost stuff at first. So I'm trying to put more into that. Oh, I'm going to have another cryptid one for my Valentine's Day special. I'm just waiting for the right person to do it with, because it's going to take a special kind of person to do it. They need to have a good sense of humor and not be afraid to talk about sex, which apparently is very. I wanted to find I have my eye on somebody. I was going to ask him about it, but I haven't talked to him today. They sent me a message, but I haven't got to it because I've been busy.
I was going to say I probably know a couple people who can probably fit that bill just as well.
Well, because my thing is, I was like, I want him to be funny. I want him to have, not be okay. I was like, but because it's like my big Valentine's one, I'm like, I wanted, no offense to anybody that I normally record with, but like I wanted to try to find somebody who has a bigger following to do it, because I'm covering Icelandic elf sex.
Icelandic.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, I love it. I think
those wild, off the wall cryptids are the funniest, because they're always like, some of them, like you can tell it's just made up ancient lore.
Yeah, I really want to do the Groot slang soon, but I got to finish so I have my goblins I got to finish, and then I need to double check my Icelandic elf sex one to make sure that I have all the kinks worked out of it, and then I've got sextraterrestrials. You not to have to deal with that particular subject matter, but you need to talk to Mexico Unexplained. You would definitely have fun with that one. Ooh, okay. Yeah, because I'm I feel like I'm a little more different. I feel like there's a lot of people that do interview based or styled things and stuff like that. And I don't, again, narcissist. I would prefer to talk and not sit and listen the whole time. Although I do like having
you want to do like a docu kind of thing.
Yeah, I do like the encounter. So what I like to do in my episodes is, if we did it just normal episode the way I like it, is, I I do the research, I get this whole thing. So I'm giving you the background, the details, the encounters, anything that I can find on this cryptid. And then like we can, obviously banter throughout, that's fine. But like at the end, I want to be like, okay, like let's analyze this. Like, what do you think it is? Do you think it is like, is it an animal? Is it like an alien? Like, what is it? What would you do if you saw one? Like stuff like that.
I prepared mentally to try to see one. I'm just like, I envision it. I kind of do like a before I go to sleep kind of thing. And I think about what would happen if it happened. Like, don't freak out.
That's why I won't go squatching.
Well, I've put myself in an area where that could possibly happen. So I'm going actually within the next few days.
Oof.
And
I'm afraid that
honey hole.
This beacon I have for paranormal stuff will roll over into the Bigfoot world. Yes, I have. Yes. So that one's on my list. The Infield Horror.
I need to listen to your show some more. I listened to one of them, but I've wanted to do something like that kind of podcast, but I like having other people on to talk to. It's like half the fun.
All of my episodes have other people.
Yeah, I mean, I've now heard other people. I just want to, like, half of my thing I like to do is listen to folks talk. Like,
see, we're the opposite.
Kid.
We'd be perfect. I like to talk, and you like to listen.
I like to talk as well, but I like the stories too. That's part of my favorite thing. Yeah, you should be my co-host.
Yeah, so we do. That's so funny because I actually had somebody the other day that were like, hey, I have this idea. We'll have to run it by these other people, but I think that maybe you could like be a +1. And I was like, it's like, get the details ironed out and I'll think about it.
I need a co-host. I need a co-host bad. I have a few people that come on periodically, but I'm like, I just wish somebody would like be here every time and have like a theme song or something. Because I get used to a new person. It's like getting used to a new guest.
Well,
so
too bad you don't do it every Friday.
I can make some exceptions. I don't know.
Well, because so I normally, like I said, I normally go to bed at like 7 or 8 o'clock during the week.
Yeah.
So Friday and Saturday are the only days that I stay up.
I might have to make some concessions if you're available for that kind of thing, because this has been really fun.
Yeah, because I normally don't put too many late things out. This is my exception to the rule. But we're having fun, so what the hell?
Yeah.
Aw, thanks. Mwah.
Wendell says, "Get her back. Bring me the red one."
But
I went live last night, and Duffy said, "Where's the conspiracy chick? This isn't a chick at all."
I'm here. But yeah, so it might be something like if it's something that's like a time I don't normally do anything, then I don't have any. We can hop on.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of Friday things either.
More in my bedroom instead of outside on the porch though, because I'm kind of getting cold. I had to unplug my heater so that I could plug my phone in.
That would be opportune, I would think, inside.
Yeah. Well, I always worry because like in my room, I feel like the signal isn't as strong. And sometimes like when I would record on my laptop, it would like freeze or glitch and stuff a lot. So I wasn't sure, but I've not tried my phone.
I'm unfortunately in a room that I think my 3-year-old is going to commandeer soon, and I've got to make concessions. So I think I'm going to get.
At least you have heat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to get an 8x8 shed and insulate it really well and put some Wi-Fi controlled, the portable heaters and the portable air conditioners out there, because they got them that has an app, and that way, if I'm going to do a show, I can just get on the app and say like while I'm at work. Like 4 hours beforehand. So
that'd be nice. Time. Well, we have the Pod Shack, which is where I used to record. When I had a co-host, and we would only record with when we would only record with each other. It was fine. Oh, you people are so nice.
What does that say? Top A brontosaurus for Natasha.
To be saying, if you want me to be a regular, hit a brontosaurus.
Oh, I was like, what the top A brontosaurus?
Don't worry, Joey. I got you, Joey. I'll translate.
Is that like a really career oriented sauropod? The type A brontosaurus. Like, we really get these reports done before we go home for Christmas break. It's a type A brontosaurus.
Can anybody tell me what kind of atmosphere?
Can we hop on a quick call? Three horns never play with long necks.
Can any of you tell me the difference between a type A and a type B brontosaurus?
Type B brontosaurus is working with YouTube in one headphone. Type A brontosaurus, I just want to focus.
Oh shit!
He's got glasses on.
Type A for Adderall.
What you think a brontosaurus would wear a tie up here or like at the bottom of the neck?
Depends. Bow tie up top, regular tie down because it's going to slide down to the bottom anyway.
I'm just saying, a little dapper brontosaurus walking around looking like Mr. Incredible in front of that coffee pot. Look at Wendell. That's a diplodocus, Wendell. That's a diplodocus, you racist. Yeah, diplodocus.
I used to know so many damn dinosaurs because my kid was like obsessed.
I love calling them diplodocuses.
And he'd be like, "Mommy, that's not what it's called."
Yeah, it's a brachiosaur. You racist.
Yeah. Jeez. Get your dinos right. Do we need to watch Jurassic Park again?
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Reminds me of B-52. Bronto emoji with a blood disorder. I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
I'm kind of confused. All right. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm sleeping. I got to be up to talk to the UK in the morning, but this has been really fun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to make it work to have you back on like once a month somehow, Friday nights.
I'm down. Like I said, my Friday nights are pretty boring, so.
Like if we could get like some straight up, the big Bigfoot people on here and just kind of grill them from both ends.
So a good contact, I can contact him or you can contact him. Do you know Todd and Brian from Cryptic Creatures?
Tom Brian? No.
Todd and Brian.
Todd and Brian. Oh, no, I don't.
But they're Cryptid Creatures and they do a ton of like interviews and stuff like that with like Bigfoot encounters and everything. They're like really heavy. And they're the ones that asked me about being a +1. And one was a dog man guy and one was a Bigfoot guy. So it's like, oh, can we be Beauty and the Beasts?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm kicking stuff around.
Get me a BAP. Get with me on the Facebook there. Or just send me a contact or something.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I love having anybody. I mean, I'll go 4 hours. Well, I won't go 4 hours. I get sleepy. But
God, I wish I could.
This kind of show here is like my forte. So.
Heck yeah, I like freestyling.
Yeah, it's usually on a Sunday or a Thursday, just from how it's worked out before. But if something works better and like that really melds, like the best of both worlds, I'll do it. I don't care.
Works for me. So yeah, I'm just boring.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you're really boring. You're killing me.
Oh no, snooze fest, 2 hours, right?
I was hoping you wouldn't think I was yawning because I'm just like I woke up at 2 this morning and I'm just.
I do it all the time. I do it too, so it doesn't bother me.
Everybody's like, "Am I boring you?" No, I yawn for no reason all day. Are you kidding me?
I do.
I have all this
caffeine. The only reason I haven't done
it
it now is I got a bunch of meds in there. I got to go take so I can sleep, and I got to make it. I gotta make it to my room before my husband does.
Yeah, I consume lethal amounts of caffeine 4 or 5 times a day, so I'm always like on a crash, and that's why
I'm just like steady stream of Mountain Dew and chocolate milk.
Yes. You can only consume enough, and your body stops absorbing it. You just kind of cast it off, and then once whatever hormone caffeine blocks gets its chance to come back, it's just like
probably serotonin.
It's something like if you wait till you're up for 90 minutes in the morning and then start doing caffeine, it feels like a completely different chemical. But I can't wait that long.
I can't wait that long. I was like, it ain't gonna happen.
On Sunday mornings, I do because we wake up and go to my parents' house at like for lunch. So I got like 3 hours where I don't have caffeine, and so I usually turn on a family friendly but interesting podcast on the way, and I make like podcast.
So don't
coffee.
Put mine on.
Yeah, I don't want to crash into a building, into a North Alabama cornfield, and but like I call it doing drugs. I said, Daddy's going to do drugs now, and they can't fight while I'm caffeinating up on the drive.
That's awesome.
It's like 30 minutes down the road, I'm just chatty Cathy, and I end up at an intersection turning into Pandora because I'm like half drunk on caffeine when I listen to some songs. I turn on Kenny Chesney radio.
Oh, geez. Mine's more like heavy metal.
Insert coin, Joey. It's after 2
Insert
hours,
coin.
it costs you.
I'm a
2
broke
hours,
bitch.
it costs money.
Is that like a bad hooker?
Joey, at 2 p.m. your time tomorrow, I'm going to be live again. Confirm that it actually is. It could be 1 p.m. It could be 3, but it's with Daniel Lee over in the UK. So I will be right back in 12 hours.
I won't. I'll be in bed.
Yeah. It's only 9 o'clock here.
It's 10 o'clock
Yeah.
here.
He called me today. And he's like, hey, Bobby, hey, mate.
Nose. My nose is all red.
He said, hey, baby, Bobby, not Bobby,
Baby,
He said,
hey.
Hey, Bobby, hey, mate, how's it going, mate? He goes, can we push it back a little? I'm like, yes, you can. I was going to get up at 5 a.m. and do it. He's like, how about 2 my time? I'm like, that's 8 for me. Good. Do it. So I'm rather ecstatic about that one. I'm going to start it just like, good morning, UK. And be like 2 p.m. Stupid yank doesn't even know what time it is.
Yeah, my UK buddy cracks me up.
Stupid yank. All right there, Natasha. We're going to wrap it up, and thanks for being on.
Yeah.
All her stuff is on the description. I mean, all of it. I scoured the internet. Even found old pictures of her from high school. It's all there. Just kidding. You brought those
they're on
up.
my Facebook.
They're right there. I have a collection. You can pay for them. They're kind of
Surprisingly, aside from being, fluffier, I really am not that much different.
No. I would kill me from high school right now. But anyway, beside the point. Thanks everyone for watching. For everybody who came on, please share and subscribe for the love of God. And Natasha will be back. I think possibly who I was waiting on to fill at least some of the void that I have.
I will fill the void in your heart.
Yeah.
Your podcast heart, to specify.
It's a little bit of a breath of fresh air to have like a reciprocating energy.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. I would be tired. I would have been really tired right now, but I'm not because I got adrenaline. So I know when this is over.
Now you've got a bunch of scary stories to think about.
I'm going to have an adrenaline dump like a cop that just had to pull a gun on somebody. How they, after that happens, you see them, they go back and they start shaking.
Yeah. You get buck fever.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But everybody.
All right, well, I'm ready to go warm up.
Yeah. I'm just saying, everybody in the morning, 8 a.m. Central, we're going to be live again. I'm going to be live again. So thanks, Natasha. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.